always a banger to see him on this kind of champion. During their match against Nova Esports, he actually picked up the Kassadin instead and the Zoe. But after seeing Neon try it out, looks like he wants to get a try on this Vlad.
Yeah, and speaking of Kassadin, a little bit less purple here for both teams as they take Kassadin out, they take Kha'Zix out. What have you guys got against the color purple? I mean, Shen is technically kind of purple colored as well. Zoe is going to be the next ban now. They're really pinching the champion pool here for T3. The jungle is still a pretty decent concern here for Team Flash as they ban out the Lee Sin.
Yeah, Lee Sin is really dangerous to be on the hands of the Ton as well. He did pick the champion up a lot of times, especially with this kind of composition right now that KBG is building. This is a high damage lineup, but Vi as well is going to be very suitable if ever, since he wants to again be having the role of supplementing his teammates, and this one will definitely be a key tool to accelerate their early game.
It is going to be a very big challenge here for Team Flash to keep that Vi in check, to make sure that those cease and desist. I really wanted to go for the old name. Would
Same,
not
bro.
as effective, but you know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, just like with the rat-a-tat-tat. Oh
man, good old days, man.
Good old days. But the Gragas will be fleshing it out here for KBG and the Morgana Jax to finish off Team Flash's composition. A very purple-centric composition still.
Well,
except for the Jace.
Except for Jace. Well, if you hint a little bit of purple onto him, he would seem to be purple, joining in the rest of this squad. And yeah, perfectly illustrated here. The Jace into the mid lane, Varus in the Dragon lane, Morgana into the jungle. Is going to be a slow-paced game at least. But when he ganks, Burst is going to be there for Team Flash.
That is very interesting. You know, they are picking the Morgana jungle. 368 did pick it before. Or, sorry, not before, but sorry, I'm looking at the raw stats. He did pick it just now. I see, you're filling it out. Yeah. Oh man, I got bamboozled.
You know,
I got bamboozled.
You know me. Yeah, I love filling out stats. I'm a stat guy, and every game, if you see like my Google sheets, you
caught me out there. But that's the first Morgana. That is the first
Morgana.
Morgana that we're seeing for the entire season. And it's going to be in the jungle. I am a big fan of more jungle. It is a little bit slower. It has a lot less effectiveness in the early game, in the mid game. But if you get hit by that Dark Binding, you just take a nap. It's over for you.
It's your AFK forever. And also, there's going to be a decent amount of follow-up coming in from them. The Jax Counter-Strike, the Headbutt Pulverize from Shaky. Well, in terms of pick potential, it's actually quite high on the side of Team Flash. But, ooh, early fight. Ooh. Flash out.
Level 1 and they're already going to get the taunt. What was that? I think they underestimated.
They did not expect Team Flash to be there, but...
Do they expect KBG to be here for the revenge?
Like,
because Shaky has no mana. Hey, he's not going to survive this, and Yanti, he's going to have to flash out of there. If he has... No, he won't. He actually will just walk through. And they're going to dive! KG's going to get out of there with a flash, and that's actually a 2-for-1 before anybody even gets into lane.
Yeah, KBG's like, you take one from us, we'll take two. That's how the game works. KBG always want to get the edge against their opponents, and they do at first minute. Even not even reaching first minute right now, they're already having a bit of an edge against them. 400 gold lead, especially with the 2 kills that they have gotten. So Team Flash might be a little bit more careful now.
Oh man, you know, they did have to go that route to get to the top lane. They really could have just I don't know, they could have gone through the river instead. That was just...
Yeah.
There was... Yeah, they got some vision onto the buff, but was it worth it? Giving your lane opponents a lot of leeway, a lot of, you know, control over that lane because they got those 2 kills. And now Kuden is not having a good time here. He has to get a little bit of help from 368.
Well, we saw Andra9 want to sleep earlier, was a little bit bored, but that definitely has awoken him. At least, KBG is now wide awake.
They are wide awake, definitely. Because after getting that first one, they're like, all right, nobody
messes with KBG.
Nobody messes with us.
Hey,
nobody gets the first blood. Level 1 first blood.
Team Flash regretting having that kind of pathway towards the Baron lane as well. Shaky and Yonti getting caught out. Both of them falling down. But let's see if they are going to be able to pick up the slack here. Get a couple of plates, possibly the top side. After seeing the taunt though, they were like, nope, not gonna fight KBG, especially after that early first blood that they got on the taunt.
Yeah, it really was just a wake-up call for the taunt. I wouldn't say it set him back a lot or really anything at the moment, because he is still Vi against a Morgana. He's going to have a lot more onus here, a lot more leeway to get his own game plan going, just from the nature of him being an actual jungler. But I don't know, I want to see what that Morgana jungle 368 has in store, because the Dark Bitings and then the ultimate could lead to some very powerful ganks, but you have to be skilled enough to actually make that happen.
Yeah. Hit the Dark Bindings, hit them with your ultimate as well. Good hit on that cast though. Couldn't, almost got there, but still able to endure most of the damage and will be okay.
Yep, should be fine, because T3 was there to help. That Jace actually is leaving his lane alone to help out that struggling bottom lane. Now KG's gotta be the one struggling here. That kind of is the nature of things when you're lane swapping, but still doing a very decent job of getting as much CS as he can and keeping alive, keeping undamaged. Now Kuden's the one in the middle lane. Lane swap here, realizing that maybe Jace is a better fit for the mid lane, as he does have a rage form.
Yeah, it was like, Yonti swap with me, I can't take bottom lane anymore. T3 is like, same!
Oh. Yeah, he is. He's gonna be like, okay, you can take that, and I'm just going to get absolutely dumpstered as yeah, another kill goes away of KBG, but that's on sacrifice himself.
Yeah, this time Yonti is gonna be in the mid lane. We're prepping now for the dragon, and just a slight change, by the way, in terms of the roster here on Team Flash. Before, we have seen Chocolate on the ADC. Now it's going to be Yonti. We see the replay in the bottom lane as they try to dive this Jace, and it was successful, but at the cost, of course, of their jungler. So 1-forward trade actually is decent here for Team Flash.
Yeah, a very very good trade, even, I would say. Now, that being said though, Team Flash still is trying to keep things even. Got themselves priority on this Rift Herald, got another kill, and they should be looking to leverage this Rift Herald either in the mid lane or the top lane. I don't know, 368 has a lot of decision making to do, and that is one of the things as well that is Morgana jungle is really good at. If you do get into the lane, you want to push it, just throw down that Tormented Soil.
Rather than throw down the Tormented Soil, try to get some potion onto the enemies, just like that. Chain of Corruption though gets thrown out, just a little bit odd. They won't be able to kill you at all, even if they try. But at least they got the tower here in the mid lane with the Herald, of course, as their help. KBG going for the stacking and late game scaling dragon though. That's gonna help them out later on, especially with the souls.
Yeah, they really do need that soul point now. This, though, is going to be a huge flash into cease and desist from that taunt. He almost takes down T3 by himself. Yes, he does take T3 down by himself, basically, as KG threw him back there. It was like, alright, I'm just going to apply some pressure, and then that taunt was the one who went for the throat.
Team Flash definitely having a bit of a hard time this time around. And KBG loving every single second of this. I want to see Team Flash make a play here, especially while there's no objective, since they do have decent amount of setting up ability, like the Dark Bind, the Chain of Corruption, maybe through the Alistar as well. They have that Pulverize. They can look to shut down maybe Andra 9 as well, since he now secured the crown here to help sustain himself and be preventing any burst damage from the enemy team. Yu though getting caught, so is gonna be able to cleanse this out of it.
Caught but not jailed. That's the same we have here in the Philippines, guys.
No! No!
Yes, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
No!
That is the English equivalent of it. But yeah, he's gonna get out scot-free. Now Daton, taking that Dark Binding, but Xiaoma finding the Varus in the mid lane. That is the burst potential of the Zeri. You do not want to 1v1 her as Varus in that range. You want to be, you know, out of range, just looking for those arrow pokes. But now the headbutt pulverize out the Xiaoma. He's not gonna have a good time versus 3. That is the revenge for Team Flash's teammate.
Team Flash getting a couple of trades. Let's check that replay out, because Yonti definitely did not expect the damage coming in from Xiaoma. Exhaust as well helped so much in preventing that escape. So Flash wasted, and Team Flash having a bit of a hard time, though they were able to at least pick up the slack since the score is still a little bit tied. KBG doesn't really have the biggest of lead right now, but looking at their composition, it does make a lot of sense. They're more so towards the scaling and surviving the early game, and they're not even surviving right now. They're the ones taking control.
Exactly. They are the ones who, you know, are taking the fight to the enemy. And I think KBG, they really need to be a little bit more proactive. Team Flash, I love the way that they're actually doing this. I love that they are making themselves, you know, a problem here for Team Flash, for KBG so far. But that being said, they're not being like, they don't have a huge lead, is what I'm trying to say. They have barely any lead. They just have one tower over them, but that is still better than I thought they would be doing against Team Flash at this moment. Now that's on at 9. They forced Kuden off of the tower, so this could be a pretty decent swing for KBG here.
Yeah, getting the other tower here, or at least one tower on the side of Team Flash, is going to be very helpful here for KBG. They're looking to trade, but looking to also get Dove.
They're looking to get that gank, maybe, because Yu will be using Explosive Gas to try to isolate 368. But will he be stunned up? No, he won't. The rest of the team of Team Flash got there right on time to defend their homies, and they will be getting out of there scot-free.
Oh man, KBG, again, you have to keep watching all the angles, because if you think you're gonna be safe, the answer is no.
Nah.
You're not safe at all. You're not gonna get anything for free against Keep Best Gaming. They're the best team in the world right now in the Wild Rift competitive scene, and now they're taking the second dragon as well here. Away from Team Flash, it's so hard to contest this.
Is very, very difficult, but it is going to be Daton who secures the smite. Now Shaky may have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew. Popsy Unbreakable will, but there's a season desist onto the back. Will he get another auto attack onto P68? No, he won't. That is the punishment onto Daton, and yeah, P68 did survive, but they did get another kill so far, 1 for 1. KBG, they are on the driver's seat right now. They're the ones pushing into the middle lane. There's Explosive Cast once again, second time this fight, and Shiki goes down. Yonti now in the front, taking the hits. 368 as well. They can't really do all too much about this. Xiaoma is too healthy for them to try to pick off, and that is KBG with a big swing victory.
Absolutely. I thought Team Flash actually did a decent job there, at least securing a 1 for 1, and even if they didn't get the dragon, it's actually okay since this is KBG's to begin with. But getting Dove under the tower is just so good for Keep Best Gaming, definitely giving them a bigger chunk of the lead now come checking this replay, because the backline definitely did not get breached. 368 still survived, especially with the negating of the crowd control due to the Black Shield. Getting a 1 for 1 trade could have been good, and they could have left the tower in the mid lane, but that didn't happen. KBG now started to get some lead.
Yeah, a little bit of a blunder from Team Flash trying to engage that fight like that, but still, they were pressed to try to get that dragon away, because now that does mean that KBG have 2 out of the 3 dragons that they need to really put this game into overdrive. Now, this is a huge engage from Shiki. The Hextech into
oh man, just one cleanse.
Headbutt Polarize.
Bam. That's definitely what he is also saying after he had the cleanse. No pressure at all. Dark bindings, more like no bindings.
0 bindings whatsoever until the Headbutt Pulverize. There's a second Dark Binding onto him, and now he's gonna try to get away. He's gonna flash out, and actually, yeah, with a little bit of health, he does survive. Now Shiki's the one who is taking a lot of damage from Shaoma, a lot of magic damage. Daton puts himself into that Baron Pit to prevent Team Flash from trying to go for anything cheeky. Yu as well has healed himself, runs right back into the fire, right into the fray here. As Daton, he goes for the long ball breaker flash, and then he does get the E3 to flash out as well. That's a lot of pressure being put down by KBG.
And Team Flash is definitely feeling every inch of the pressure that KBG is giving them right now, and it's such a hard time right now for them. Yonti hasn't been hitting that much of his piercing arrows as well, so that's really good leeway here for KBG to just get anything that they actually want. Vision, objectives, now they're eyeing onto the Baron as well. Team Flash, I don't think they can even try to contest this. They're gonna try though.
They're definitely going to try. They're gonna make it so that KBG can't have the free. KBG, they're not really interested in looking to, force Baron or put pressure on Team Flash that way. They just want to kind of slice this jungle up and kind of threaten Team Flash in their own home. So let's see if they can actually do that. As Team Flash, they are just grouping up together. Everybody's all grouped up towards this Baron. Nobody is actually trying to get any sort of lane control at the moment until they moved on to the mid lane. But yeah, that was just a little bit of an iffy dance there for Team Flash. Good that they were able to, match KBG beat for beat there.
Beat for beat, but they're kind of a bit off beat in terms of the overall standing here into the game. The stats are not really mirroring the expectations that most people that support Team Flash wants to have in this game for them. KBG just taking their time. They know that the late game scaling is on their favor. Later on, the Jace is gonna fall off. The Virus is gonna be having such a hard time dealing with the frontline members here of KBG, like the Fiora, like the Vladimir even here of Andra 9, that is so far unkilled the entire game. He has been playing this safe, but look at the items. The crown is there. There's also even a death cap completed.
Yeah, that is already a huge Anran 9, a big Vladimir. Look, he's soloing the dragon while the team gets caught. My god, that Daton just sat in there for like 5 seconds or something like that. The Dark Binding is insane, guys. But man, Anran 9 might have been gotten caught here. It took a little bit more than he could chew, but nope, that's Vladimir. That's fine.
That's Anran 9.
He just goes into the blood pool, and then he just queues, immediately destroys that Varus, and then Yu and Shaoma try to go for the follow-ups, get a couple heals for themselves. Now, that is the classic KBG that we know and love. That is a 3 for nothing.
3 for nothing. KBG gets everything. The KG is even pushing into the top lane. He's not wanting any more of those plays happening alongside with him. He's going on his own game in the top lane. Finally, Daton is the one to actually finish up the Infernal Dragon. Yeah, his own thing, his own game. Now the Baron's also going to be under the hands here of KBG. Team Flash cannot stop this. It's just a landslide of a snowball lead here for KBG.
Yeah, now this is what I was saying earlier, where KBG, they know how to play whether they're ahead or behind, and right now they are very, very ahead. They know exactly how to make this work in their favor, and well, this is just classic KBG, man. Now they are going to abuse that lead. Look at that Daton, where he is, and how many people are there to go against him. 368 and Kuden can't do anything to save that blue buff from him because they know that Yu and Shaoma are close behind.
The backup is always there on the side of KPS Gaming, and nothing can actually stop them right now. Not even Team Flash, not even the Spoke Burst composition. KBG is just running them down, taking turrets one by one, taking champions one by one as well. But they can actually take them as a whole as well. It's up to them if they want to close out this game.
Yep, that is just very difficult for Team Flash now to keep them out of the Nexus. All three Nexus turrets, all three inhib turrets are gone. Now the Nexus is the last one standing as Yu and Adran 9 go in, and they go in hard. They've already gotten one, maybe two here. Yeah, that's actually three, as 368 is going to be the fourth victim here. They're not going to grab that Jace, but they are going to grab the Nexus. That was a very typical game of KBG taking that first victory against Team Flash.
And a one-sided beatdown has been felt